and welcome to Yoga in Our City Virtual Studio. And this is sponsored by Kineticare. Well, I am Anne, and I invite you to do a session with me, and this will be on yoga for anxiety. I do hope you enjoy this session, and I do want to emphasize that if you find yourself in a situation where your mind is starting to wander, just come back to your breath. Notice yourself breathing with each inhalation and exhalation. This will definitely take the mind and help it to focus on one thing, which is your breath. We're going to go through about 11 poses that you could use at any time when you begin to feel anxious or you would like to just relieve feelings of stress. So take care of yourself during this session and only do as much as your physical body allows. We want no ouches in any of our yoga practices. So we want to have a beautiful stretch and breath movement, but we want no pain. Also, when you get to the point where you feel that you can stretch no more, just to come back again to the breath. Do not exert yourself. This is a beautiful gift that we have to take care of ourselves and love ourselves. So we invite you to come on your mat, and you may find that you need to quiet some negative chatter that may show up during this session. So what you want to do again is to come back into your breath and also be aware of any sensations that may show up in your physical body that you may definitely become aware of. So for example, if you feel a tightness in your chest as you breathe, just allow that to just flow through, because all our emotions or feelings are just fleeting. They just come and they go, and let them go. Let them go through whatever they need to do without holding on to any of them, okay? Just come back to the breath. So what I'd like you to do is, if you don't have it already, to have your blocks or 2 pillows. And if you need to use them during any of these poses, then I invite you to again use them and take care of yourself. And I'll walk you through the different support with the pillows and also with our blocks. Okay, so the first pose that we will get into is called the hero pose. And now what I'd like you to do is, if you can, sit on your mat and allow your buttocks to come down to your heels. But the knees are touching and the feet are apart, so the buttock sits right between both legs or feet. Now, if this is not possible for you, that's when you could take your pillow or a block and put it right under your buttocks, and you're still in a beautiful hero pose. Now, this particular posture or asana can help to calm yourself, but also to come inside and begin to focus on your breath. So let's begin. You may close your eyes or leave them open, and just allow the breath to flow in and out. It is recommended that, if possible, you can hold the hero pose for approximately 5 minutes. But for the sake of time today, we will hold approximately a minute to a minute and a half. So begin. Just follow each inhalation and exhalation. I also invite you to be aware of those sits bones, the two bony parts on your buttocks, and just be certain that they are flat, either on your block or your mat, so your body will allow to be in one beautiful linear position. Take the shoulders, bring them forward up to the ears, pull them back, and allow the chest to expand and open. And breathe. Again, remember, if you feel any sensations arising, just allow them to arise. Just be present. And then I invite you to slowly to come out of the hero pose. To do this, put a little pressure on your heels and come back up, and then come into the table pose. And then from the table pose, spread out the palms of the hands, and we're going to curl in our toes and bring the buttocks up and come into standing posture. Just very slowly and gently walk the feet to the hands, or the hands to the feet. Keep the knees bended and slowly come to standing posture. And we'll start with our next asana or posture. And the next one is called the tree pose. Now for the tree pose, if you find that your balance is not really steady today, you do not need to lift your foot any higher than the sides of the ankle. So take the left foot and place it firmly, resting on the upper part of your ankle on the right foot. And again, bring the hands together for the tree pose and simply breathe. This again helps us to center ourselves. Now it's if in your practice and your balance that you could bring that left foot higher up into the thigh without putting any pressure on your kneecap, then please, I invite you to do that. And breathe. And then slowly relax and come back to center. Now the tree pose is simply to find that center, that part of, or that point of calmness. Now the third posture or asana will be the triangle pose. So separate the feet little more than hip width apart and turn the right foot out to approximately, you could do a 45 or a 90-degree angle, arms extended, palms facing down, and then very gently and slowly bring that right hand down to the right foot. And this is your beautiful triangle pose. Now what it does is it begins to relieve the tension on the back and on your neck. And if you can look up nice and gently to your left hand, the fingers pointing up to the ceiling, and breathe. And you can hold the triangle pose for approximately a minute. Now for this session, we'll hold about 30 minutes on each side. Begin to relax the neck. Relax the back. And then you can extend a little bit further down. Take the fingers on the right hand and have them touch the mat. Slowly inhale. Exhale, and then nice and gently come back up. And take that right foot, bring it forward, and now we'll do the left side. So the left foot facing out, 90-degree angle. Take the palm of the left hand, bring it facing down, but for the sake of the triangle pose, you're going to bring it up, the left palm up, or back down. And begin to touch the mat on the outside of the left foot, or you can bring it in the inside. Again, begin to feel the relaxation or the tension being removed from the neck and the back. And breathe, and we'll hold again for 30 seconds, but keep the breath flowing. And then slowly come back up. Turn the left foot forward. Now both feet are facing forward. Keep the legs separated apart. And we're going to move into what we call the standing forward bend. So what we'll do now is take the arms, place them out, palms facing down, and very slowly and gently come down. Feel the release in the lower back. Come halfway down. Breathe, standing forward bend, and then when you're ready, allow the whole body to come down. So the hands are placed right on the mat if possible. You can bend the knees slightly, especially if you have any lower back issues, and just allow the neck to release any tension that it may be feeling. And breathe. And again, we will stay in this posture for approximately 1 minute. Again, connect with that breath. It's a beautiful release of any anxiety or any tension through the body. And then bend the knees, slowly walk both hands up the legs. If you find that you need to hold on to any support, you can have the wall or a chair near you, okay? So you want to be sure that safety is very important, actually number one, especially if you know your balance is a little bit off or shaky. And then we're going to come back down into a seated position, and we're going to move to asana or posture number 5, which is the fish pose. Now both legs are extended out in front of you, And then very slowly and gently, we're going to come down. And the fish posture is noted to relieve tension in the chest. Palms of the hands are face down under the buttocks. And if you need to, you could either put a pillow under the neck, and you can just simply stay in the fish pose and breathe. And just bring the shoulders blades back down to the mat so the chest is slightly up. This is a beautiful release of any tension in through the chest. Now those that are able, you can use no block or no pillow. And what you're going to do with the fish pose is again place the hands under the buttocks and then bring the head, top of the head on the mat. So you feel an extension in through the throat, but you feel the opening of the chest in the fish posture. And breathe. Notice again any sensations coming up. Just allow them to flow through you. Again, you can hold this for 30 seconds or a minute, or if you're not able, just do what you can do and come right out of the posture by slowly removing the hands from under the buttocks. And then let's gently, slowly bring the soles of the feet to the mat and come back up. And we'll move into the next posture, which is the extended puppy pose. Now this is a beautiful heart opening pose, and it stretches the whole spine. So with the puppy dog pose, we're going to come back into the table pose, okay? And then gently keep the feet slightly apart, and then take the hands, keep them flat on the mat, and now you're going to extend the hands towards the edge of the mat and bring the buttocks up towards the ceiling and breathe. And if you can, allow the forehead to come right down to the mat and bring the buttocks closer to the heels in the puppy pose. Feel the opening of the heart. Now from here, we're going to move up back into the table pose. So come back up. So after we do the puppy pose, we're going to move into the next posture, or asana, which is posture number 7, and this is the child pose. Now for the child pose, this is one of my favorite. It's very relaxing. You're going to just keep the buttocks and come all the way down, and you can allow the hands to come back to the sides of the body, palms facing up, and you can bring the forehead right to the mat. And breathe. And this posture you may want to hold for a minute, but then again, you may prefer to hold it for even longer. So whatever floats your boat, whatever your body needs, please do that. And feel in the child pose all the relaxation coming through the neck, through the shoulders, through the spine. And again, breathe. Just notice any sensations coming up and just allow the sensations to flow through the body, holding on to nothing, bringing the focus back to the breath. And then slowly come up, come back to table pose. And next we're going to go from the child pose to head to knee pose. Now bring the legs out in front of you. And for the head to knee pose, you're going to take the sole of the left foot, bring it to the inner thigh of the right. And I'm going to invite you again, if you need to, take a block and put it under that left knee, that right knee if you need it. If not, you can prefer, or if you prefer, you could take a pillow and put it there. And some of you may not need anything. It may be very comfortable for you just to extend that right leg. And then you're going to simply inhale and come down for the head to knee pose. And breathe. The forehead to come as close as it can to the knee, but again, no pressure. Just allow the breath to flow. And hold on again. You could do it 30 seconds or up to a minute. Then slowly walk the hands up that leg. And then you're going to move and bring the other foot, the right sole of the foot, into the left inner thigh. And again, breathe. Head to knee. And again, breathe. Now, this is number 8. Head to knee pose. Then we'll move into 9, which is the seated forward bend. Again, for the sake of time, we'll hold this for only about 30 seconds. In your practice, if you continue with these anxiety preventive asanas, then what you may do is hold it up to a minute. Then slowly slide both hands up that leg. Great, and let's shake out the legs. Take note how you feel. And now, the next one is the seated forward bend. The heels are touching the mat. And now for the seated forward bend, you're going to again relieve any tension in through the chest, slide the hands down both legs, and come and bend forward. Again, if you can hold on to the toes, that's great. And if not, it's okay. You may feel a little bit of a stretch in through your life nerve, which is the nerve that comes up to the back of the legs. Again, no ouches, just a beautiful stretch. Slowly slide both hands up the legs. Beautiful. And then the next one is legs up the wall. Now for the legs up the wall, you can either put the legs against the wall, or you could simply do what I'm doing, which is simply just allow the soles of the feet to be parallel to the ceiling, or the toes could be pointed up. You're going to feel a beautiful release into the back of the legs, and also any tension in the lower back is going to be relieved. Try to take the shoulders, take the shoulder blades and press them on the mat beneath you. And breathe. Again, we'll hold for 30 seconds, but in your own practice, you may want to hold up to a minute. Again, always coming back to our breath, being aware of the inhalation and the exhalation, and follow it through. This also quiets the nervous system. When we focus on our breath, we become mindful, and we could stay in the present moment. And then slowly take the soles of the feet, place them on the mat, and then slowly turn and come and sit back up. And we're going to get into the number 11, which is the reclining bound angle. And for this, actually, from the legs up the wall, you could just stay on the mat. I had you come back up, but you just stay back on the mat. And the reclining bound angle is, oh, is this beautiful. Now for this, soles of the feet can come together, and you could take a pillow or you could take your blocks and place them any place on the bent leg that feels great. And just relax. Feel the openness of your physical body, focusing on the breath. Now this particular posture asana, you may want to stay in this for 5 minutes. It's very relaxing. And breathe. Feel the relaxation of every part of your body. And then slowly come back up. And if you prefer to stay down, please feel free to do that. But I'd like to thank you all for joining me in these 11 poses to relieve anxiety. And anytime you could come to your mat and practice 1, 2, 3, any of these, or go through the whole series. And please feel free to check Yoga in Our City on YouTube and note any videos that you would like to participate in. They're available. So again, thank you for joining me. I'm Anne. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.